My name is Tanja Dramac Jiries, and I'm a senior program officer with the National Endowment for Democracy, where I oversee the endowment's democracy assistance to the Western Balkans. I suggest we unpack the concept of radicalization a little bit here, because there's been a lot of conflating terms. Young people in Western Balkans, as are their peers in Europe or in the world, are really embracing extreme religious postures, but also those that are inspired by the white supremacy or other nationalist, I would say chauvinist ideologies. Every big data indices suggest that young people are exposed and are susceptible to radical and extreme ideas, not only online, but also offline. This is very worrisome trend. And one thing that perhaps sets apart Western Balkans young people from their counterparts in Europe or in the world is the fact that we have an entire generation of young people whose secondary memory of conflicts of the 90s, because they don't have a primary memories, they've been born after the war, have been shaped by misinformation, manipulation, ethnic and religious grievances, but most importantly, formal education that is problematic. You will find a number of civil society groups that have documented history curriculas that are based on false accounts, and this is a problem for young people in the region. One thing that we can confidently deduce is that the pandemic had been accompanied by a serious infodemic. And again, I will draw on the local indigenous civil society that had documented serious info war, if you will. The media space and the public discourse is plagued by misinformation, but also proliferation of conspiracy theories. This is all these are all the things that radical groups are thriving on, and they're using these to prey on the young people. What we haven't seen are the longer term strategies that are providing support not for projects but for programs under the larger umbrella that promote pluralism, tolerance, democratic values, critical thinking, that are not so nichely focused on one specific type of radicalization that is actually exacerbating the issue of Islamophobia and other phobias. We haven't seen a lot of public discussions on what the core of the problem is. We have seen the surface level briefs, and we have seen a lot of briefs that are actually recycling what had been noted already. I really have to draw on the evidence-based research done by the indigenous local civil society. These are the people that are mostly familiar with the context. These are the people that should be shaping or help informing the policies. Instead, what we've seen is the proliferation of foreign-funded, foreign organization or foreign experts leading some of these initiatives, and they were doomed to fail immediately. This is why we haven't seen any breakthrough. We haven't seen any of these programs actually taking root, because they haven't had legitimacy on the ground. One of the things that we haven't discussed is how foreign illiberal governments that have vested interest in the Western Balkans are galvanizing this indigenous radical political or religious movements within the country and mobilize young people to the causes that are bigger than just in that specific region. We haven't really discussed another thing. Young people are also disillusioned with the EU integration process. Brussels is well aware of the faults within the governments and how the democracy is in decline in the region, yet they continue negotiating with these governments. Young people want all that young people want. Young people in the Western Balkans want the same things as the young people in Europe. They want freedom of movement. And we know for a fact that, for example, that is not afforded to the young people of Kosovo due to visa or lack of visa liberalization. They want to be able to get a job, but yet they know that the endemic corruption and nepotism is plaguing their and hindering their abilities to get a decent job. So we haven't really seen programs that are having a larger umbrella approach to the issue of radicalization. Any strategy that is to deal with the radicalization will have to go from a very high up levels, meaning from the governments that are not really working for the people, but are working for their vested interests, to the EU that is really not responding to the needs of the people on the ground, and then gradually to the young people, pardon me, and their needs and how these are not met.